To round up the penny? Oh, is it okay to round up the penny? You don't have to. Or
Organisations. Oh, there it is.
Now, before we get into the pickups from this video, which of course is all the charity shops that I visited whilst I was in Devon, we was basically near Exeter, in a little village called Crediton. So we went to like Tiverton, Crediton, don't know what that is falling off in the background. So I went to, over the space of about 2 or 3 days, we went to probably half a dozen charity shops. As you can see from the footage, I'm going to show you what I got from there. Before we get into that, I'm going to show you the pickups from the boot sales, because we went to 3 boot sales, I think, 2 on one day, then 1 on the next day over this bank holiday weekend, over Easter, down in Devon again. So there's a thumbnail for the previous video if you haven't already seen it. That is basically just footage from the hunt. I didn't actually get a chance, because I was away, I wasn't in the games room, we were staying around an auntie's house. I didn't get a chance to just show what I got. It was more fun to be out amongst the actual hunt, because I didn't actually get anything, which you'll see in a minute. I didn't actually get anything. So things are falling off left, right and centre. I didn't actually get anything too crazy whatsoever. So this was like Ren and Stimpy. Everyone loved a bit of Ren and Stimpy. It was just a nice, quick, easy flip. So it was a way of tripling your money. All the DVDs are in there. I'll put up there how much it goes for on CEX. You probably saw from the footage. I think I picked that up for 50p, maybe a pound, but I'm pretty sure it was 50p. Now, I got some retro gamer magazines. I don't have any of these magazines, but they were 50p or a pound each or something, or I got a pound for 2. And they had just 2 randomly on a stall, so I thought, you know what, I'll get them because I'm not going to lose any money on it. If I did go to sell them, you see these things at expos and stuff anyway. So they retail at £5.40, they both say on there. But when you go to expos and stuff, you know, they normally cost a few quid. So to get them for a pound each, can't really go wrong. Have a little look. If I keep them, I'll keep them. If not, I'll probably end up doubling my money on them anyway. Then I did get a few games. One was a PSP game. I'm absolutely loving the PSP. Is that another thing that's fallen down the background? Well, I'm going to have to explain. Obviously, I've not been in the room for 2 weeks. Things have settled. I've come back, thought I'll just shove some blue tack, stick a few things up, and things are just falling down in this temporary structure. Shambles of a games room. Championship Manager, I had this. I didn't realise there was like 2 or 3 of them on the PSP. But again, I didn't necessarily get a bargain. I think this is like £1 from CEX. And I think I probably paid, it might even be less, it might be 50p. I think I paid £1 for it. As you can see from the footage of the boot sale, from the previous video, thumbnail again there if you haven't checked that out. They had other games there. It's the only one I was interested in. He even said about doing a deal like 6 games for £5, but I wasn't really that interested. But the PSP, I'm going to do a video on it at some point because I'm loving a PSP at the moment. And there's literally only 2 or 3 games which are actually expensive. And not expensive compared to other consoles, but literally there's a massive library of really good games and films, and they're all literally like 50p a pound. Go and CEX, so you can get so many great games for under £5. So yeah, I got that for myself, and then I got some wrestling games. So started to think, like, not been paying attention to wrestling. Twice a year, I always jump on a bandwagon for Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. But I haven't got a new console. So the latest console I had, modern-wise, is an Xbox One. Tried to set that up to play F1 Simulator because I like Formula 1, and it seems to have broken. Must have dust in it. I might be able to get someone to open it up and put some compressed air in it to clear it out potentially, because it was working. It's just sat there, so I'm assuming it's dust. But having said that, they're like 40 quid on Facebook Marketplace. So, but yeah, so I haven't got a modern. What I'm saying is I can't play any of the modern games. So I haven't got an Xbox Series X, whatever it is. I haven't got a PS5. I haven't got a PS4, and now the Xbox One's broken. So I thought I'll get some wrestling games for the 360 because these all passed me by. I think the only one I played was 15, WWE 2K15. I remember my wife buying it for me with John Cena on the cover, and I completed it really easy. It was a bit crap, to be honest. Once I completed it, like, you basically compete for the title. Once you get the title, that's it. The credits come up. You can't, like, carry on with a career, defend it, go for other belts. It was a bit weird. So we can kind of go in order because 2011 we got WWE SmackDown versus Raw. Now I'm just going to say quickly as well, because someone commented on a boot sale video saying there's nothing there, all sports titles that nobody wants. Obviously you've got to bear in mind there are some games which are expensive. On the Xbox 360, FIFA 17, you can trade in for like a tenner. And then these WWE games, you can pick them up at boot sales for 50p and £1, and a lot of them trade in for £2, £3, £4. And all of these SmackDown versus Raw titles trade in for, I'll put some thumbnail up there, but I'm pretty sure there might be one of them that even trades in for a tenner. So, like, don't sleep on these necessarily. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously the roster obviously forever changing, and people leave. I guess wrestlers leave or go join the rivals AEW, and this might be the only place you can play them on. Yeah, that might be the crack, that there's people on there who are no longer around anymore, like The Undertaker, for example. Anyway, this was an expensive one, but I think 2007 and 2008, I think, fetches for a fair few. But again, I'll put a little screenshot up there. But yeah, I've got 2011. Got them in order. We got 12, with old Randy Orton to cover. We got 13, was that CM Punk, so he's gone again, isn't he? And then with the old Rock, 14. So I don't think I've played any of these. Like I said, I played 15. Other than the really old wrestling games, like, I haven't played, like SmackDown 1 and 2. I have not played any of these titles, other than 2K15. So I remember my wife got it for me when we had a bit of a resurgence getting back into wrestling all them many moons ago. So yes, I picked those up for myself, but again, I got them for 50p or £1, and they all trade in for more than I got them for. So that's pretty good. And the only other 2 things I got, before we go on to the charity shop stuff, very random. I could have got this for 50p, but a little kid was selling it. He must have been passed on by his old man or something, so he wanted £1. I was like, yeah, no worries. Doesn't work, but my wife said she had it. You put it in your hand, these little cheeks light up. I say it doesn't work, it might do. I've not put batteries in. So we'll check if the batteries work. But it's an original, you won't be able to see from the camera, but it's original Nintendo license from 1997. So it's an original toy, even though it's well loved and it might not work. I just thought for £1. I just thought I'd get that for a laugh. Is it going to go on a shelf, or will it be given to someone as a gift? Who knows? Then this one was really random, right? You probably saw it from the thumbnail of the previous video, and you probably didn't realise the scale. It's massive, right? This isn't the indoor Mario Kart that you can get on the Switch. You know, that go around the lounge. This can't be it. It's too big. It come with a lead, right? A proper power lead. Obviously, it's well loved. It's got, these are outdoor tyres, guys. This is a proper RC. Look. He's got movement there. He's got suspension in his body, down his spine into his pelvis. So this was a remote control car at some point. It's not massively old. I think it had 2013. So it's 2013, but it's a Nintendo product. and he wanted a £5 for it, and I was like, look, mate, it probably don't work. You haven't got the control for it. And he didn't know what it was. Let's be honest. But I thought if I clean it up, that'll look good on the shelf. And I got it for £4. And this is something that someone would probably want that in the future, because that is a big bastard of a Mario in the cart. That's pretty good, isn't it? So yeah, so let us know, guys. I mean, I've not done any research, but I imagine you can probably. I don't know if they still. Look at him jigging along. I don't know if they still manufacture these. I don't know. I can't say I've ever seen them, but that's a proper remote control little car, isn't it? But then it's got like these lines on it, which makes you feel like it goes on a track. Maybe it was part of a Sky Electrics track. I don't know. Let me know. Anyway, that is all of the stuff from the boot sale. Now, there's some stuff next to me. I'm hoping you can't see that at the camera, because that will come up in another video for pickups and just a general chitty chat. Right, this is stuff we got from this video, which is the charity shops. So it was really good to be back at the boot sales. I've got it's just fun, just finding anything that's cheaper than it would be in CEX and things for yourself. It's fun amongst the hunt, and it's the same for charity shops. So I really enjoyed doing this video. These are actually from we was in Exeter, and it was like the you know, the exchange shop, like the trading shop, not CEX. I don't know what you call it, cash converters. But they had like PSP. I've been looking for PSP now, haven't I? Everything there was 50p, and they had some horror titles. And I just thought, some horror films. I've seen all of these. Exorcism. I haven't seen Hollow Man, actually. Amityville Horror. And yeah, it was just... I mean, that's pretty good, isn't it? If you haven't got films downloaded on your phone or whatever, after you're going away, stick them on the airplane. Mind you, there's films in the headrest. But you know what I mean, anyway, it's pretty good, 50p. I can't believe these... I can't believe how much these are. I really can't. All the games on the PSP. Yeah, got them for myself. These definitely from the charity shop. I picked this. I was looking at DVDs. There was nothing there that was priced well enough to make any money on, but I think that trades in for £1 or £1.50, and it was like under 50p, so I picked that up. All these games, pretty good. They're all like, look, Grand Theft Auto 5. These are all, you know, all these games like triple for the money, really, for trading in. So I'm not going to keep that whatsoever. This one I will keep. I recently brought Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. It came this week, actually, spoiler alert. It came for the Nintendo Switch. I loved... Need for Speed games are good, but I just love getting chased by the police. That's why I love Road Rash. And I love speeding in real life. I don't really. But yeah, I love this title. So it's probably a bit silly that I've brought it, because this is... there's no money to be made on this. What I've basically paid for it is pretty much not far off what it trades in for. But that's a cool one to have in the collections. I do collect the odd Xbox 360 game that I like. But I'm probably going to play it on the Switch. But I just saw it in good condition. I thought, oh, I'm going to pick that up. Because at the time, it hadn't arrived. So yeah, got that one. Street Fighter 4, again. I think these were like £1 or whatever. And, you know, they trade in for like £4 or £5. So again, I'll put all the screenshots of how much they trade in there. The case isn't the best case. As a bit of it falls out as I open it. But they're all complete with manual. And obviously I can swap them over. And a good little tip, I was watching Party Game Network video just yesterday, and he was basically had a big pile of stuff to trade in, like I've got in the corner. I've got things for basically I've got stuff I trade in to my local retro game shops, to Miso Retro Games and the Retro Hunter. Then I've got stuff that they won't take, which they won't want. Some real run-of-the-mill stuff. So I'll just trade them in, get £1 or whatever, £2, and put them towards something I want. And Party Game Network had a good idea. I never really thought about it. He just said, before you take your games in, have a look at what higher price games you've got and just swap the cases, which is a great shout, especially these Xbox games, because the cover slips right out. So if any of these are immaculate, obviously that one definitely isn't, then I could swap it with something that I've got that's a bit of a worse nick. PS2 games are very rare to pick them up, so I don't really have a standing collection for the PS2. There's just too many games to get involved with. But Aliens vs Predator Extinction, there was a few games I saw which looked really good, but I looked them up, like you saw me look at Superman one. If they weren't worth anything, I don't bother buying them. But this one looked really interesting, because it looked a bit like, you know, like a Warhammer game, like strategic. You choose basically aliens or predators, I'm assuming. And it basically looks like tactical warfare, you know, like a bit like a Command and Conquer game, a bit isometric. It looked really cool. I haven't seen that before. And I had a little look. Again, I think all these games in this charity shop, I think they were priced like £1 or £1.50. I don't think they were £2, maybe £1.50. And I think that trades in for £4 or £5. I think that's a £10 game. So I was like, I'm definitely going to get that. So yeah, so I picked that up. So basically, everything that I picked up from the charity shops is for trading, except for that one. So yeah, I mean, I probably paid £1 or £1.50 each, and they probably trade in. So you know, it's tripled money basically. So I can't complain. And then this one, as you probably saw near the end of the video, couldn't believe it. I mean, I have paid £10 for it, and it's not in the most immaculate condition, but it's a WWE wrestling figure. Now, we know, obviously, the very old figures are, like, collectible and cost a lot of money. None of them are really in the packaging, let's be honest. And some of them are worth money just loose. But we're getting to a point now where, obviously, that's like the golden era, like the 80s wrestlers. But some of these, you know, mid to late 90s and early 2000 wrestlers, obviously, aren't around anymore. Like, you look on the back. I mean, I'm wondering if this has been pulled from the plug, because it's got Chris Benoit, and we obviously all know what happened to him. But yeah, Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul. Batista is like a movie star now. So it's a bit of a weird lineup from there. But yes, this is Batista. So it's like a £10. I looked it up. I couldn't find much on eBay. I mean, I could see a few sold in America and in Australia for a lot more than a tenner, you know, 30, 40 quid or whatever. So I thought, you know what, it's worth getting it. I'll probably definitely get a tenner back. Someone will want to pay me at least a tenner for that, and I might be able to make some money on it. I'll hold on to it for a little bit. But it's Jakks Pacific. I don't know if they make a lot of, you know, WWE figures or WWF, but it's even got that older Attitude WWE symbol. Do you know what I mean? So the year on it is 2005. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. And also what's really cool with it, so basically, I don't want to grab them because they'll fall apart. They flip heads, right? I've only ever seen this on Power Ranger figures. See what I mean? It's gone all angry. So I just thought that's really unique. It's like something different. And like I say, I can't really find nothing of them online. There's not loads of them for sale. I'm not saying I've stumbled across a gold mine, but I just thought that's pretty cool. And yeah, it's not in the most immaculate condition, but I'm sure if there was anyone collecting wrestling figures, let me know. If there's anyone watching this channel who collects wrestling figures, if you can tell me anything more about this, it'd be really interesting to know. But I'm going to keep hold of that. So I just thought that's pretty cool. So yeah, so that's everything I got basically from the charity shop. So yeah, really enjoyed it. We'll be back out there at the boot sales probably next weekend, and to some charity shops as well. The next video will probably be from the OL Festival, so up in Norwich, Norfolk, going to a games convention there. It's on all weekend, but I only can go on Saturday because I'm at football, probably watching West Ham get beat again on Sunday. So I'm only going up for the Saturday to say hello to some friends, have a little look around. So that'll be the next video. I'll see you guys soon. I'm Scott at Marathon Gaming. Take it easy. Cheers.
Welcome to Marathon Gaming. Boom!